running the football, read options. It takes a lot as a quarterback to run that read option. He does it very well.
Josh Rosen does something very well, and that's pilot this Bosco offense as Sean McGrew is loose. He's down the sidelines with a man to beat. Touchdown Braves! But oh no! There's a flag down in the backfield, and once again we're going to have a holding on the Bosco offensive line. Wipe out the touchdown. My oh my. It would have been a 51-yard run to the house from the sophomore McGrew, but instead another holding penalty against the offensive line of the Braves. The 7th holding call on St. John Bosco here tonight.
Yeah, Jason Negro, one more time, you can fry an egg on the top of his head. He's about 5 to 10 yards onto the field. Can you make sense of this holding bonanza in favor of the St. John Bosco Braves, holding on number 51, but huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Just, I don't even know what to say. So many holding penalties. This just killed them.
5 receivers set. It's now a 1st and 20, and the pass over the middle nearly intercepted that time by Vicente Sarver, and that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Excuse me, scratch that. It'll be 1 second left on the 3rd quarter clock. But that offensive line just continues to uncharacteristically get called for these weird holding penalties.
It seems like the Braves are no longer playing the Spartans. They're playing against this officiating crew. And Chris, the referees are winning 17-7, but 3 defensive drives by De La Salle, all of them aided by holding penalties. 8 in the 3rd quarter against Bosco.
2nd and 19. To the ground they go. It's McGrew. McGrew to the 50-yard line before he's hit hard and spun back. And that will, for sure, be the final play of the 3rd quarter here in Carson, California, from the StubHub Center. It's been an entertaining 3 quarters in the CIF Open Division State Championship game. And the St. John Bosco Braves are just 12 minutes away from knocking off the kings of the California State, the De La Salle Spartans, who have won 4 consecutive state titles and 40 games in a row. That's all on the line here as we head to the 4th quarter from Carson, California. 17 for the Braves, 7 for the Spartans. Come on back to an exciting, a fun-packed, a fun-filled 4th quarter from Carson. Live on the campus of St. John Bosco High School in Bellflower, California. It's week 2 of Trinity League football as the Orange Lutheran Lancers are in town. It's Jordan Harris cutting across the field. It's inside the 5. Jordan Harris has a St. John Bosco touchdown.
Very, very good awareness by Harris, getting into the open field and knowing where the gaps were in the field.
It's going to be tallied as 49 yards, but he ran about 149 yards on that play. A fantastic cut across the field. He eluded about the whole football team.
You are listening to a special presentation of National Sports. St. John Bosco football with Nick Rice, Adam Ferrister, and Chris Sylvester.
Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation. Everything is meant to be okay.
Tonight's contest between the Bosco Braves and De La Salle Spartans is presented by High School Scoreboard, commissioned by Matt Atkinson. Tonight's game is being scored by Dan Guidano. I want to thank you guys for such a fantastic high school scoreboard season. Tell us a little bit about the app.
Well, it's the only app where you're going to get scores across the state, the top 25. It's a live game cast providing you with stats and scores, again, of the top 25. And it's only 99 cents, well worth the price of admission.
The best 99 cents ever spent. Thanks, Dan. Obviously, America is better off with the fine young men at a high school scoreboard providing what we all need in this country, statistics of high school football games. Currently, there is one score that For the Bosco side, hope sticks just a couple minutes longer, Chris. 17-7 in favor of who?
The St. John Bosco Braves, not the De La Salle Spartans. It's a 3rd and long for the Braves. The pass over the middle is caught by Shea Fields, and Shea Fields has himself a Braves first down inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. Nice to see Rosen and Fields hooking up for the first time since the first half.
Yeah, and what a deflating way to start the fourth quarter for the De La Salle Spartans. Have them in 3rd and long and let up a big pass that gives St. John Bosco a fresh set of downs.
1st and 10 here for the Braves on the De La Salle 32. It'll be the run with Sean McGrew. No, it'll be the keeper from Rosen. Rosen inside the 25 before he's taken down out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Josh Rosen just continues throughout this postseason to showcase his ability running the football.
This team is running towards a state championship, literally. Josh Rosen carrying the team on his back on 3rd and long, the play of the game. I think the dagger in the heart as well for De La Salle, giving up a 3rd down and 15 to Josh Rosen, connecting with his wide receiver on what was basically giving Bosco a final chance.
2nd and 2 here for the Braves from the De La Salle 25. Handoff goes to Sean McGrew, and McGrew able to get himself close to that first down marker before he's taken down by a couple of De La Salle defenders. Very close to that first down marker. It'll be interesting to see where the referees spot the football. We'll mark him just short, it looks like. Waiting for the call on the field, and sure enough, it'll be a 3rd and 1 for St. John Bosco. De La Salle would love a stop right here. Out of the gun, Rosen, handoff, McGrew, big hole up the middle, has a first down, spin move inside the 15, and he's taken down at the 10-yard line. So Sean McGrew is what Chad Johnson summons on a 3rd and short. Manesse Anesi, no carries on the night for the St. John Bosco Braves. You surprised at that call?
I don't know if I'm surprised about that call. We saw Clifford Sims, but Nos has been playing more on the defensive side of the ball now. He's been making big plays on the defensive side of the ball. We saw him in the Modern Day game get an interception, come up with some clutch tackles. So I think that he's turning more into a defensive player.
It'll be a first down for the Braves at the De La Salle 11-yard line, and the pass intended for Shea Fields is incomplete. That time Rosen throwing into double coverage. He was lucky that the ball didn't fall into the lap of a Spartan defender right there.
Yeah, and that was one of the first pass plays without a penalty flag on the field. Josh Rosen, not exactly the kind of night that he hoped for passing the rock, but overall, 2 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. Jason Negro's ball club offensively with a touchdown may become too big of a deficit for those De La Salle Spartans.
2-back set for the Braves. It'll be Sean McGrew getting the handoff, and McGrew is met in the backfield. Loss of about 3 on the play as Sean just simply tried to get to the outside that time but was unable to escape the linebackers of the Spartans, who were charging hard. Leading the way for De La Salle that time was David Ortega. And now all of a sudden this becomes a 3rd and 13 for St. John Bosco. Here, if you're De La Salle, you're hoping to hold them to a field goal or maybe even force a turnover in this situation.
Unfortunately, St. John Bosco expected to pass. These linebackers, as great as they are against the run, so far today in the passing game has not had a similar result.
5 receivers set for the Braves, a 3rd and 15, but not before flags fly. And wouldn't you bet that it's instead, luckily for Bosco, a timeout, as it would have been a delay of game on the Braves. But Jason Negro with a heads-up timeout, calling it just before the play clock ran all the way down. So here you are, if you're Jason Negro, on a 3rd and 12 situation at the De La Salle 16-yard line. Obviously, you're probably looking at a passing situation, but to be conservative here and maybe retain possession of the football, you maybe just try a simple halfback draw, or maybe have Rosen keep it to just get in field goal range for Reed Budrovich, who's been one of the most reliable kickers as far as field goals go in the nation this season.
Well, I wouldn't want you as my head coach, though, Chris. On 3rd and 12, I want to put the dagger in the heart of De La Salle. Unfortunately, there's a reason why you're not coaching, Chris. It's because on 3rd and 12, when you have this team down and almost out, running the football, running a read option nevertheless, boy, Chris, I don't believe in the play call, but boy, I guess you know better than me.
Well, I guess we're just going to have to see here on a 3rd and 12.
Third and 12, they're throwing the football. Leave it to a man like myself who's analyzed this team. What I expect for Josh Rosen is to, one of two things, run Jaleel Wadood across the middle of the field on a pass route, or a man who's lined up wide, looks like Jared Harrell, look for some outside patterns towards Shea Fields or perhaps Wadood over the middle.
4 receivers set here for the Braves on a 3rd and 12 at the De La Salle 16-yard line. It's an end around, handoff to Wadood. Wadood inside the 10 before he's met at the 7. He's short of the first down marker, and 9.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. You're up 17-7. It looks like Jason Negro's going to sub in Reed Budrovich to try what should be a makeable field goal, seeing as he already made a 35-yarder way back in the first quarter.
Yeah, and this field goal is big because that means that De La Salle would have to score 2 touchdowns because it'll be a 15-point game, 13, excuse me, rather than the 10-point game it is right now.
It'll be a 25-yard attempt for Reed Budrovich from the right hash. He already made one, as we just stated, from 35 yards out earlier in the game. This one on its way. It's up, and it is good. So with 8:48 left to go here in the fourth quarter, St. John Bosco extends that lead to 13. It's 20-7. All right, Nick, you're Justin Allenbaugh now. It's crunch time. You're down 13. You don't have a passing game. You're in a world of trouble.
Yeah, Reed Budrovich bangs it through. Bosco up 20-7. Reed Budrovich's 13th field goal made on the season, 13 of 18 for Budrovich, who leads the state of California in touchbacks. Will have his skills showcased here, down by 13. While I do hammer De La Salle, for a team that has scored, count this, 73 rushing touchdowns, it's just 1 or 2 plays that will help spring these ball carriers loose. Let these offensive linemen do what they always have done all season, impose their will against the defensive front for Bosco. 73 rushing touchdowns. You expect that sooner or later, John Velasco, one more time, can make a big play for his team.
John Velasco way back in the second quarter. De La Salle's only score to the present moment. John Velasco had that 10-yard run where he just simply busted through the defensive line of the St. John Bosco Braves, but here, it's 20-7. St. John Bosco leading. 8:48 left to go here in this fourth quarter in this illustrious state championship game. We are nearing the end of the high school football season, and what a finish we're in store for.
Boy, this state championship game has been electric. Almost a packed crowd here for the StubHub Center. All watching a high school event, the state championship game between the Braves and the Spartans, the top 4 ranked teams, both ranked in the top 4 in the nation. De La Salle getting set to prove their dominance here on this kick return and another offensive drive.
Let's see if De La Salle can finally get it going on the offensive side of the ball, as Reed Budrovich will send this kick back into the end zone once again. So Chris Williams and that veer option offense will take over once again from the 20. You got to make these possessions somewhat quick if you're De La Salle, because time is not on your side.
And for a passing offense that only nets 21 yards on 7 attempts and 2 completions, the aerial assault has not been on your side either. Chris Williams has put all the pressure on John Velasco. Perhaps a good mix of run and pass may help ice things here for St. John Bosco.
The first play, it's going to be an end around, a trick play. Throwing the ball is number 37, Matt Rabone, and the pass falls incomplete. That time it was an end around to Rabone, the junior wide receiver, and he went deep for Chris Lie, the 5'10 senior wide receiver, but the pass was incomplete, and Jaleel Wadu did a heck of a job of breaking up that pass.
I was just going to say that